All right, this video is for somebody, and it's kind of where I'm at right now in my life. It's also for my son. He doesn't understand all the way, but he will one day. It's amazingly difficult and amazing when God sends trials in your life. He knows our hearts and he knows our ability, and I'm finding in the trials that I continue to find myself in another opportunity to grow out of stubbornness, grow out of hurt, grow out of whatever it is that is not allowing me to be where or have what I want. And God loves us. He wants us to have the desires of our hearts as long as it fits His will and purpose for our life and it brings Him glory. So I'm finding that in these hard times, and it's always specially made for us as individuals. God is a relationship God, and He'll press us but not break us. And even when we are feeling broken, He's pressing that much harder, and obviously it shows that we need to be pressed harder. So it's difficult, and often we go through the trial or the refining, and we miss the lesson in it. We bend and break, and we simply miss the message in it, and the growth. And those are both important. It's important to realize that God sends trials and He works them all for the good. And the good for those that press onward, that stick with it, because He loves us. And often we get in our own way, and the longer that we stray from God, the harder that these trials seem to be, and often the more trials we need to have because we just don't get it. We're that far and that lost. So stay connected with God, and I'm finding that every time He sends me trials in the last year and some months, for me specifically, that I have time to learn. I get to have time to reflect with God and really search my heart, what my real desires are or intent, and where I'm at or where I want to be at. And it's a refining process. So we could learn to go with it, and it be a little less painful and more fruitful, or we can be stubborn like our nature is, and God's gonna still love us because God is love. And that right there just shows you that love is not just all fun, butterflies and cupcakes. Love is also painful. It endures all things, and He's gonna endure with us. We gotta endure with Him. And every time we have a trial or where God takes something, and sometimes He'll replace it with something better, or sometimes He'll take it and He'll give it back better. Just like a kid, a parent will pick up a kid's toy if the parent sees that toy is unhealthy and would cause it some kind of health or some kind of other type of harm. And a loving parent, if that toy is still good and serves a purpose, the parent will give that toy back to that child, because the parent knows what that item or object, that person, that circumstance, the environment, what that means to the child. God is the ultimate parent, and He knows tomorrow. And let's focus on today, because today is the day of the Lord, the day that He gave us, and He says that tomorrow has enough worries for its own. If you're going through worries and trials, just know that you are walking straight. I won't say straight, the straightest, but if you're not going through convictions, persecution, and struggles, you might not be going through a whole lot of growing period. And often the most growing periods that we have, those are the most painful. But if you are wanting to grow taller, you look forward to the pain. And He says to worship Him, and all of the trials, good and bad, He works for the good, even in the bad. We got to learn to see that these bad are really just a refining, and our time for our faith to grow. Let your faith grow. I hope that serves somebody. I know it's kind of a long message, and before I recorded this, I said, Lord, I want to become a person that is less talk and more walk, because I don't want my faith or my knowledge be bigger than my obedience. And obedience is the second and perhaps the most valuable half of the whole procedure in your faith. It's not just head knowledge, because that does nothing. That's not powerful. The word is the word, but the word becomes living when you apply it and you put it in action. So let that knowledge be put into action, or it's kind of dead works, possibly. I'm still learning, and that's a topic of its own. Let's equip ourselves to be better parents, and to be able to serve others that are going through times and haven't taken advantage of the trials. We see trials as hardship, or God taking something, or a pain without purpose. But I don't think that we don't like the pain in these things. I think that we don't like pain and purpose. We need to learn that there is a purpose for the pain. There's a season for everything, and you know what? It's exciting. It's very painful. It's really faith, because you don't know. You're not in control. I'm somebody that I deal with control, and I'm going through a lot of stuff. That just means God's moving a lot of stuff. He's working a lot of stuff, and I'm putting in the work, and I'm trying to be obedient. I am being obedient, and you know what? The enemy don't like that, but I'm gonna keep pressing forward. He is the potter, and I'm the pot, and you know what? One day we will accept these things for what they really are and what they're not, because God is giving us a message that He loves us. He doesn't want to break us, but He's gonna mold us. So let's stay connected. Let's turn from our sin. I'm a testament to know that why God says once He frees you from sin, don't go back, because a demon or a situation will take its place, and it'll be even stronger. And so let's break from our unaccountability, or our, what the word is. Let's be honest with ourselves, because that's the only way we're going to really grow, and we're going to endure this. As I was saying, some of you guys on here, or future people that may or may not follow me and my son, and the journeys that we go through, know I'm going through relationship things, and you know what? This one's different, and I want to be different, and ultimately God's the one that's going to be in control of that. But I'm learning a lot. I have so much more to learn, and I got a whole lifetime to learn. I'm human, but I'm dealing with consequences for myself, and I've had people that I love have to deal with some of the behavior and consequences of me letting me go over the years. It's not enough to have knowledge from years ago. If you stopped allowing God to pour into you, and you only pour what you have, it will never be sustainable, and it won't be enough to do what you think that you can do on your own power. And I realized that I can't. So learn from your mistakes. No, don't stop believing. Keep loving. Keep God first, and the desire of your heart. If you're within the will of God, He's gonna fulfill you. I don't know how that'll look, but He knows us, and He loves us, and He's been in relationship God ever since Adam, and He knew the desire and the need for a partnership. So let's really work on our mind, body, and souls to be able to love each other in a way that Christ loves us. And that's the ultimate apology. If you've ever hurt anyone, like I have, if you've ever been hurt from people, because hurt people do hurt people, and it's not an excuse to talk about your life anymore. That'll serve none of us any purpose. Let's be better. Let's learn better. Let's direct our kids better. Let's protect our kids better by learning. And let's go straight to the one that loves perfect. That's Jesus, baby. Celebrate recovery, counseling, working out, and staying steadfast, He will supply to those that endure. I got a lot of love. I want to be better. I'm gonna be better. Lord willing.